If you're struggling with low book sales on Amazon KDP, then watch this video because I'm going to show you exactly how to get more sales. I'm going to show you live examples of real books on Amazon, what mistakes they're making, and how to fix it so you can get a lot more sales. This is a subscriber book review series that I often do. If you want me to review your books in future videos like this, then just follow me on Instagram at SeanDowit13 and DM me your book. All right, so let's get started with the first one. So this is a hiking logbook, travel size hiking journal with space for photos or drawings and prompts to write in and record your trail, adventures, and memory. I think the subtitle is a little wordy, but basically it's a hiking logbook. I think the image is pretty nice and you have 29 reviews, which is good, but your book is not selling much. It is over 1 million BSR. So the main reason is because hiking logbook is a very competitive keyword. And I'm assuming you're not running ads here. Even if you're running ads, it's hard to profit if your book is at $6.95 because your per sale royalty is like $1, right? So it's really hard if you're paying 50 cents per click and you're making $1 in royalties, which means every 2 clicks, you have to make a sale just to break even. And 50% conversion rate is super hard, like almost impossible. And this is exactly why if you want to make big money, I don't really recommend these generic low content books. It is just really hard to differentiate yourself and stand out. But with that being said, let's go and actually check out the niche or the keyword. So I looked up hiking logbook. There's 30,000 results, which is a lot, right? That really shows the competition. There are books that are selling well. Like this one's 24,000 BSR, $32 a day. This is 25 bucks a day, but it has 2,000 reviews. Surprisingly, there are books with just 21 reviews. That's not even new, right? That's ranked on page 1. But the thing is, it's not selling much, right? 600,000 BSR is not a lot. So basically no other books are really selling on the topic. Like this one is 247,000, but that's like one copy or one sale every 2 days, which is not a lot, right? It's really not worth going into this niche, especially if you're trying to make life-changing income. Like if you just want 10 bucks a month, 50 bucks a month, yeah, you can do these niches, but it's just way too small. So honestly, my biggest advice is to try and avoid these low content book niches because, you know, doing guided journals are okay, but you have to be able to sell your book for a pretty good amount, not $6.99. That's way too low. And if you're going into a keyword where everyone else is selling their books at $6.99, super low profit margin, essentially no one's winning. They can have a really low BSR and they can still not be profitable because of the profit margin. So I highly recommend you go into niches where you can price your book higher, right? So you have higher profit margin. And typically speaking, these generic journals is not that kind of niche. And that is why all these other YouTube videos talking about how you can publish generic journals and make 10K a month, most of the time, people who say that have no idea what they're talking about. Our next book is Multiple Choice Trivia Questions for Know-It-All Adults, jam-packed with utterly random questions from the bizarre to the funny, designed to be challenging hours of fun. So I actually like the title. I never looked into the multiple choice trivia questions niche, so let's actually check it out. So specifically multiple choice trivia questions, there's not a lot of books on the topic and none of these books are selling well. But if you scroll down from your book, you know, there are a lot of other normal trivia books, you know, not the multiple choice specifically. I mean, trivia is pretty much multiple choice anyways, right? So I don't think you had to mention multiple choice and you could have just said, you know, trivia book, but you can see that these books are selling pretty good, right? I guess this is the UK market, so how much you're making per day is lower, but it's still doing 100, you know, 200 bucks a month, which is decent. And even for your book, right, you have 0 reviews and you're still making sales, which means there is demand if you're making organic sales like that. Now, what I would improve here is your book cover. The text is super hard to read, so just try and fix that. Having a text-based cover is completely fine. Yours is just 100% text, right? There's no design or anything. And that is completely fine. Just make your title a lot more readable. So you can easily update this by using a designer like this one. It's just $15. She can create a new book cover for you. So you can test it out. If you want to try her out, I'll leave a link in the description below. The next thing is you got 0 reviews. So if you're making couple sales here and there with absolutely no reviews, then don't you think if you get more reviews, you're going to just make more sales, right? Because reviews are social proof. It's super important. So just look up Sean Dowit reviews on YouTube, and there's a lot of videos that I've made that'll pop up. But I also leave a link to this video that I made on the easiest way to get reviews in the description below. So make sure to check it out, take action on it, and get more reviews. After you update the book cover and get more reviews, pretty confident it's going to start selling a little better. because a trivia niche is a pretty decently profitable niche. From there, you can run ads, market it, and you can get more sales. But first, before you do the marketing, you have to fix the listing itself, make it look more attractive. So that's why we try to get reviews and update the cover. Our next book is Coding with Scratch Jr., A Magical Journey of Coding. So it's basically a coding book for kids. It has 1 review and it made 0 sales. And the unfortunate reason for this is because your book title is not good. You didn't use the keyword coding for kids, and you didn't explain in the subtitle what this book is about. Magical Journey of Coding does not mean anything. If a customer reads this, Magical Journey of Coding, they're gonna be like, what does that even mean? What am I gonna learn? What am I gonna get inside this book, right? So because you didn't clearly explain that, your book is not selling. Like, I think the book cover is not even that bad. I like the idea of having a character, Scratch Jr., in there as well. But the biggest problem here is your value proposition, how you position the book, right? You didn't tell the readers or the customers that's scrolling through Amazon why they should stop and buy this book, why they should even care. So I'm going to show you some good examples next, but before I do so, why do you only have the Kindle version? Why are you not doing the paperback? Like, everyone should be doing the paperback. You will make more sales from the paperback than the Kindle version. So you're literally missing out on money by not doing the paperback. But anyways, the true topic of your book is coding for kids, right? Or coding book for kids. So that's what I looked up here, coding for kids. It has 3,000 results, and these are the books on the topic, and it sells well. You know, it has 12,000 BSR, $33 a day. So this one book is doing $1,000 a month. Coding and Logic Workbook for kids age 7 to 10, only 51 reviews, and it's selling $36 a day, right? So once again, $1,000 a month. So there's a lot of coding for kids or coding skills for kids books that are doing decently well. And if you only positioned your book as coding for kids, and obviously in the subtitle you explain to them why they should care for the book, what's included in the book, like this one, you know, it tells you it is you learn problem solving and critical thinking, engaging screen-free games and puzzles that your kids will get. And as a parent, right, because parents are the ones that's buying these books, not the kids. So as a parent, when you hear that, you're like, oh, awesome, screen-free games and puzzles to learn problem solving, critical thinking. That sounds awesome, right? My kids need that. So they would go and buy it. Same as this one, 101 challenging fun coding activities and logic puzzles for kids. So these are the benefit statements that you want in the subtitle, not the magical journey of coding. That doesn't mean anything. So since you cannot update your book title, it's kind of hard to fix this book, but the next book you create, make sure to keep this in mind so you can create a better title, and that's going to help you rank your book a lot easier, and from there you can make a lot more sales. Next book is Let's Think About It. Transform your life with an attitude of gratitude. Train your thoughts, emotions, and actions for happiness, mindfulness, and it cuts off here, which means your subtitle is too long, so do not do that. Shorten your subtitle next time. And transform your life. It's all about God. So it's a Christian gratitude book. This book has 0 reviews. It's been out for over 6 months and barely made any sales. So there are a couple mistakes here. It's kind of similar to the last book, and that your title is not specific enough. Like, I can tell that it is a gratitude book, but because you didn't use any keywords like, you know, a gratitude book for adults or a Christian gratitude book or some kind of search phrase that people use, because you didn't put that in the title, this book is not going to show up anywhere when customers search. Amazon has millions of shoppers every single day, literally searching up, you know, whatever topic here, right, in the search bar to find different books on it, various books on it. And you have millions of people doing that every day that you can tap into and make organic sales. That's like the number one most amazing thing about doing Amazon KDP is the organic sales, because that means you make passive income. But if you don't add any keywords or phrases that allows your book to show up when someone searches for something on Amazon, your book will not show up, which means you miss out on all those traffic. And now you will have to run Amazon ads or some kind of marketing for your book to show up, which means you're paying for the sale, which is still cool. But why miss out on the organic sales, right? This is exactly why people complain that, oh, you know, you have to pay money to make sales with Amazon KDP. You don't get organic sales. Well, that's because they don't do this, okay? They don't understand this. So what I would have done, this is the number one mistake, is you don't want to be too fancy with your title. Like, let's think about it, right? Sounds cool, sounds fancy, but it's not going to rank your book. and it's not going to sell your book as well. It's just a catchphrase, and catchphrases are the worst thing to do, okay? It's so much better to just be clear with your book. So it would have been way better if you just said a Christian gratitude book that will transform your life. I don't really know what the keyword is, but basically you want to think of how, if someone's trying to search for a book on this topic, which is a Christian or, God-based gratitude book, what would people type in the search bar? It's probably going to be like a book about gratitude, how to be more grateful. Well, I'm seeing Bible verses here. So, something like a gratitude Bible verse. Let me actually look this up. So I looked up Bible verses for gratitude, and maybe that's not the right keyword or right search phrase, but perhaps you want to go for like daily devotions. So there are a lot of gratitude journals that are doing well. I couldn't really find a nonfiction book on gratitude that specifically did really well, but gratitude journals are doing well. So maybe that's a different kind of book that you can create. But what I would fix specifically, once again, the title, you have to be super clear on what the book is about, right? Try and use some keywords, shorten the subtitle a little bit. So do all those stuff, but you also got to get some reviews. You have 0 reviews, and that's not going to cut it, right? You cannot just upload a book and, hope Amazon sells it for you, especially if you're not using any keywords. So make sure to watch the video on how to get reviews. Once again, it's in the description, and take action on it. Now, the next thing is your book cover is way too cheap. I guess right now you have 0 reviews, so it's okay, to keep it cheap. But once you start getting more reviews, once your social proof goes up, make sure to increase your price, because $7.99 for a 233-page how-to book is way too cheap. Typically, you want to go for minimum $14, right? 14 bucks, all the way up to like $19.99 for how-to books. And that's the beauty of high content nonfiction books, right? Like you can sell your book at a very high price, and you can make a good royalty amount per sale, which is why I like high content books. But the last thing is the book cover. So you probably created this on Canva yourself, and it's not good enough. If you scroll down here, I see your other books. And so I guess you are publishing a bunch of books. That's great. But these 2 books, it looks like you basically created on Canva. It's not good. These are the other books on the topic. And, I know that it's not for the same niche, because this is for a basically devotional for girls. So I know it's more colorful, but these are good covers, right? You want your title to be bigger, thicker, easier to read. Add some designs around it. You don't have a ton of stuff going on here. It looks very amateurish. So what I recommend is you work with a designer instead of trying to create these, book covers yourself. So I'll leave a link to this gig right here. It's 35 bucks, and you can get a nonfiction book like, these ones. It's pretty good, don't you think, for 35 bucks? And you can probably make a lot better book cover that's gonna stand out more. It's gonna get more sales. So in terms of the steps, what you wanna do, next time, improve the title. This one for this book, get more reviews, improve the book cover, right? And once you get more reviews, once you start making more sales, then you want to increase the price. By increasing the price, you're going to make more royalties per sale. This allows you to run Amazon ads more aggressively, because now you're making more money. And by doing so, you'll make more sales because you're running ads more aggressively, and you're going to make even more money. So you see how everything is connected, right? So that is the step-by-step action plan. So hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully you guys learned something. But this is kind of a small preview of what you would get if you join our complete Amazon KDP coaching program. So if you click on the first link in the description, it'll take you to this page. You can apply from here if you want to work with us. It's not just a course, it's a course and coaching hybrid offer. So we basically will sit down and actually do these one-on-one calls and review your books one-on-one. And we can check your keyword, check your title, check your book cover, exactly like what I've done in this video, but way more in detail and way longer, of course. And this is all privately one-on-one, right? And we'll tell you what to improve and what mistakes you might be making before you upload the book, or maybe after you upload the book. But basically it is like personal training for Amazon KDP. You need somebody else that has the experience, that has the results, to actually come in and, check your work. Because if not, you will most likely make these mistakes. Like, as you can see, a lot of these people are actual publishers. They're trying to figure it out themselves, but they're making the mistakes. So if you want to learn more, then check out the first link in the description, as well as all the tools and resources that I recommend for your publishing business. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.